Hi, Beth. Okay, awesome. Hi, Megan. All right, so we'll have our mats. And yesterday we started on our backs. Today we're just gonna start in a seat. So if you have your blanket, you wanna sit on your blanket on the edge of the blanket, or just sitting comfortably. Allow the hands to rest naturally on the knees. And when you're ready, start to close the eyes or divert the gaze. Finding some neutrality in the neck. We're going to find a few minutes of seated meditation and grounding before we start to move a little bit more. So with the eyes heavy or closed, we need to take a scan of the body. Noticing where the breath is landing in the chest or the belly. Noticing the rise and fall of the body with the breath. Can you allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears? Can you take the next few minutes to be present right in the space? Maybe you're practicing with family and loved ones. Maybe you're in a space of solitude for the next few days or weeks. Taking a moment to find 3 things that you're grateful for. Whatever pops into mind first. For me, it's having enough groceries and food in the fridge. Having an apartment that's filled with sun this morning. And my ability to have hot water, take a nice hot shower after class. So all the little things that we take for granted when a few months ago we were all rushing around in our normal lives. The ability to see friends, to go and come as we please. Those are things that we will find more gratitude for moving forward. So during these chaotic, confusing times, can you see the good that's in this? The extra time at home to catch up on reading, pick up on hobbies, spend more time with loved ones, cook, drink wine. Whatever it is, can you start to lean into this experience? Nobody thought this is where we would be in a few days ago. I don't think anyone thought this is where we would be. You can allow the experience to happen, and you can lean in and find the beauty. Or you can spend a lot of effort fighting back. So ask yourself what's going to serve you better in this space. We'll take one hand to the belly and one to the chest. Find a few rounds of cleansing breath. So inhale, fill the belly up. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Sigh it out. Inhale, fill the belly up. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, fill the belly up. Exhale, sigh it out. And then slowly release the hands back down to the knees. Start to roll the shoulders up and down the spine. So shoulders up to the ears and back down. So yesterday we focused more on hips. We did some grounding, but definitely some hip and lower leg work. So today we're going to focus more on shoulders, on opening the chest. So begin to roll the shoulders forward. Start to make these movements more exaggerated. And then we'll find some seated cat-cow. So hands on the knees. Pull the chest and the chin forward. Big inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin back. So let's find this a little slower than we normally would. Find a pause here. Inhale, pull the chest and chin forward. Pause at the height of this posture. And then exhale, pull it back. Maybe you close your eyes, start to flow with your breath. Let's take 4 or 5 more full rounds. Breath is flowing nice and easy, maybe in and out through the nose, unless you have some congestion. When you feel evened out, come back to center. Thank you for the little thumbs up. I see them popping out from afar. And then we'll start to make some more movement of the trunk. So starting to circle the ribs around. Doesn't matter which way you start your circles. So again, finding this as slow or as fast feels good to you. A couple more times this first direction. So at any point during class, if we're doing something that doesn't feel good to you, do a variation. I'll offer variations or just skip it. So circle the other way. Yoga is really not about what I am telling you to do. I'm offering suggestions. It's about taking time to slow down, find some movement, check in with your breath, block out all the swirling around you. Let's take 2 or 3 more circles. So don't feel frustrated if we get to a pose that's not working for you. Pop a note in the comments. I'll give you an alternative for another class. Come back to center. Then we'll start to move all the movements of the spine. So we've moved forward and back with the spine already with our seated cat-cows. First, we'll inhale the arms overhead, take the fingertips together, and then exhale the hands down to heart. 2 more times like that, just to warm up the shoulders. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, let it down. Inhale, reach. This time, we're going to take it over. So drop the left hand down, right arm over. Twist the body open just gently. So now we're finding that side to side movement of the spine. Then we're going to swim the arms forward, take it over to the other side. So try to keep both glutes glued down to the mat. Swim the arms forward, take it back to the left. Whatever side you're on, we'll all even out. Swim it forward on the inhale, take it over. One more time each side, inhale, swim. This time we'll hold a little longer. Maybe you start to walk these fingertips out. Spin the chest open. I would normally say to the mirror in a studio, but spin it open to your computer or your phone or wherever you're facing. Maybe you start to gaze underneath the arm. One more round of breath. Then swim it forward, reach a little farther this time, take it all the way over. Walk the fingertips out a little bit more if there's space. Spin the chest open. Gaze underneath the lifted arm. One more round of breath. And swim it back forward. Walk just a little bit farther forward. Just one round of breath. And then start to walk the hands back. We'll find a twist in the spine to complete all 6 movements of the spine. So inhale, reach. Then we're going to twist this way. So left hand to right knee, right arm behind you. Right arm is behind you like a second spine. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Maybe if there's space, you start to gaze over the shoulder. We want to be gentle with our twist. We're just waking up. Maybe only twist a few inches. Inhale, reach back to center, lift up out of the waist. Exhale, twist other side. So for me, that's right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, reach. Lift to center, exhale, twist. Heading back to the left. Inhale, reach. Last time. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring the hands to the chest. Connect the knuckles of the thumbs to the sternum. Close the eyes and we'll sit for a few rounds of breath. Maybe noticing how you're already feeling some more movement and warmth in the body. Allow yourself to stay present in this practice, focusing only on what's happening within your body, within your mat. Take a cleansing breath together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, let it go, side out. Awesome. We'll come to hands and knees. So for me, I like that blanket underneath the knees. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. So coming to hands and knees, wrists underneath shoulders. Sorry, I'll tie this up so you can see what we're doing a little better. Wrists underneath shoulders. And just start to drop the hips side to side. Find a little bit of movement. And then we're gonna work on the shoulders. So the right arm is gonna lift, open up, open to the sky. And then we're gonna thread the right hand through and bring it behind the left wrist. So we're starting to drop down towards the right shoulder, the right side of the head. So for some people, it's gonna be way too deep. Can you grab a block or a pillow and place the pillow underneath your head? So we're on the right shoulder, we're reaching the right hand through. Option to walk these left fingertips overhead. So we're opening up behind the back of that right shoulder blade. Then we'll find some dynamic movement here. So if the left hand's extended, pull it back. Inhale or reach, lift the right arm back up just like you did. 3 times, we're gonna thread it through and just tap it down. Tap down the right shoulder, or at least start to get close. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap it down. This time, inhale, reach. Keep that extension. And then we're gonna find some big circles. So circling the shoulder, finding nice big circles like you're drawing on the wall. And then bring the right hand back down to meet the left. Shake it out. We'll take that on the other side. So this time, right hand stays planted. Left arm lifts, find a big inhale, open across the chest. And then thread the left hand through, behind the right wrist. Start to come to the left shoulder. Maybe the right fingertips walk overhead. Spinning open, opening the shoulder. One more round of breath. Right hand comes back 3 times. We'll find dynamic movement. Thread it through. Open as you inhale. Thread it through as you exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open last time. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. This time, find your circles. So reach towards the front of the mat. Circle it back, reach towards the back of the mat. Just finding some movement in the shoulder. Switch directions. Awesome. Come back to the mat. Find a couple rounds of our cat-cows if you practiced with this yesterday. Drop the belly, lift the gaze as you inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Keep rolling with your breath. So in yoga, we inhale as we expand, create a larger shape. And we exhale as we come back in towards ourselves. Take 2 more rounds. Awesome, sit back. We're gonna find a little toe tuck. We won't stay long, so just sit back on the heels, or if that's way too much, sit back on the feet. Just stretching out the toes, they're probably not getting much action. Okay, so we're gonna move into child's pose. If you have the blanket, I do like the blanket underneath the knees. We'll start to make child's pose and then make a larger version of it too. So knees can come wide, or if that doesn't feel comfortable, knees can stay together. So start to melt the hips back towards the heels. For some people, the hips are gonna be way up, that's fine. And then walk the chest forward. Again, if the head doesn't reach the mat, grab for a block. If you don't have a block, grab for a pillow. Start to melt the forehead down. Press that space between the eyebrows into the mat. So we'll be in this child's pose for a few more rounds of breath. Notice how turning inward, facing down to the mat, blocking everything else out. This pose allows us to kick on our parasympathetic nervous system, our anti-fight or flight. So when our head is below our heart, the same reason you would tell someone to put their head between their knees if you feel like they're going to pass out. So if at any point you start to feel overwhelmed in this practice, if you feel overwhelmed just in your daily life these days, finding a child's pose is a really nice way to kick the body's systems on in order to bring the heart rate down. Our parasympathetic nervous system allows us to find those rest and digest functions. If we're in fight or flight, the opposite, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to fight or flight because our body's adrenaline's kicking on. So we'll find a few more rounds of breath in child's. And then when you're ready, walk the fingertips forward. And we're gonna walk the fingertips off to the right. So take them off to the right side of the mat, or just that direction, and then melt the hips back down. Maybe the left hand places on top of the right. Then walk it back through center. Walk it all over to the left, and then melt the hips back down. Walk it back through center. Then start to walk the hands back up. We'll find that sitting on the toes or sitting back on the feet. If there's, reach the hands back behind. If there's space, interlace the fingers and start to drive the knuckles down. If there's not space, just reach the hands. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. And slowly release. If you were on the toes, tap the toes out. We'll start to move into a little bit of a flow. My heat kicked back on, so now I'm warm. So if you're newer to the practice, you can always take tabletop, here, hands and knees, instead of down dog. So I'll walk you through down dog in a slight flow, and then we'll start to do some opening from standing poses in the chest. But if you're newer to the practice, option to just stay here in our tabletop. Otherwise, walk the fingertips slightly forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, press the hips high and back, find a down dog. Start to walk your dog out, bend one knee and then the other. So we're trying to find a little bend in the knees, melt the chest back towards the thighs to take some weight out of the wrist. And then we'll start to walk the feet up to meet the hands. Feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, take it all the way overhead. Fingertips touch. Exhale the hands down to heart center. Do a little bit of more movement in the arms. Reach the arms wide. And then round through the back. Reach the hands forward like you're reaching for a beach ball. Inhale, expand, reach the hands back. So I'll do this from the side so you can see what I'm doing. Reach forward, round through the shoulders, reach for your ball. And then reach it back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, reach it back. 1 more time. And then as you reach back, if you can interlace the fingers, great. If not, keep that reach. Lift up tall and then start to hinge over and fold. Maybe the arms start to drop overhead. I happen to be hyper flexible in my shoulders, so you do not need to go this deep. And then slowly release the arms, drag them through. We're gonna find chair pose just for 2 rounds of breath. Drop the hips down, and then release and fold. Shake it out. So this time we're gonna plant the hands. We're gonna step it back. We're gonna find our tabletop instead of a flow. If you wanna flow high to low plank, feel free. Everybody else, we're gonna take from tabletop, pull it forward, start to lower the chest. Option to peel it back, baby cobra or skip. And then take it back, find child's pose. So again, knees come wide, hips drop towards the heels. We'll take 5 rounds of breath here in your child's. Pressing that space between the eyebrows into the mat. From your child's pose, start to round up through tabletop. If you're staying in tabletop, great. If you're moving to down dog, walk the fingertips forward. Fingers should be spread super wide. Give yourself a nice wide foundation. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Press the chest towards the thighs. Walk your dog out, bend one knee to the other. And then start to walk the feet towards the hands, same as before. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, take it all the way overhead. Fingertips touch. Exhale the hands down. This time we'll do something different in the shoulders. So reach the arms out. And then we're gonna wrap around. So it doesn't matter where you start. And then start to lift the bottom elbow up. Find your breath. Release back, inhale wide, wrap the other way, pull the bottom elbow up. One more time each side, inhale, reach, exhale, wrap. Start to lift the bottom elbow up, create some traction. Inhale, reach, exhale, wrap, other side. Lift the bottom elbow. Awesome. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Option to grab for the interlace if it's there. Fold all the way down. Or just reach the hands toward each other. Nice big bend in the knees in this forward fold. Next inhale, sweep the arms down, sit it back, find your chair. Just 2 rounds of breath. Release and fold, shake out the legs. Take it back to your tabletop or high to low plank if you practice more often. Walk the fingertips forward, pull the chest through, slowly lower. You can skip this part completely. Peel it back, baby cobra. Melt it back, find your child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. So 5 more rounds of breath here. If you feel like you have more space, I'm gonna offer puppy pose. So puppy pose would be coming hips over knees and then melting the chest down, creating a lot more space in the chest and the shoulders. When you're ready, start to walk it back. Sit back on the heels or sit on the feet. If you have the space, interlace the fingers. Melt the shoulders down. Awesome. Shake the arms out, shake the toes out. We'll do another shoulder opener. I'm going to face you just for ease. So we're going to take the arms wide, and then we're going to swim this right arm towards the left arm towards the right. So starting to walk the hands away from each other. I might have to back up so you can see a little better. Starting to walk the hands away from each other. And then you've created a little shelf. So put the chin on your little shelf. Norm has come for it. Oh. Those who wanted a Norm cameo, here it is. So rest the chin on your little shelf. If you feel like you could get some more, you're not getting quite enough sensation in the shoulders, you can tuck the toes and start to roll the body forward. Just a few inches will really pick up that sensation. 3 more rounds of breath. Slowly start to unwind. Shake the shoulders out. And then we'll take the opposite side. So left arm swims around, right arm swims on top. So depending on how tight you are on either side, it could look really different. You might be crossed like way out here. That's no problem. We're just different depending on which side we use to write and do other things. So drop the chin down wherever you can reach it. Continue to walk the fingertips away from each other if you have space. Two more rounds of breath. Slowly start to unwind, roll the shoulders out. Start to push yourself back. Sit back on the toes one last time. Interlace, reach if there's space. And then option to take the head down. We're going to find a version of rabbit. You can reach for the feet and start to roll a little bit on the forehead. Slowly release. So we'll take some seated postures. So take the legs nice and wide. Maybe you take the hands behind and you roll so that you roll into the legs. And then we'll start to walk the hands down. So it's going to pick up intensity quickly, giving the shoulders and everything a little break, working a little bit more on the legs for the next few minutes. So you may be way up here. If you're feeling it in the inner legs, that's wonderful. You're doing it right. One more round of breath. Start to walk it back. We're going to bring the knees wide, soles of the feet together. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, start to hinge forward. So wherever you find comfort, maybe you use the elbows to press the knees down. If the knees are up here, it's no big deal. One more round of breath. Inhale, rise up. We'll do one side at a time. So right leg extends long. Pull the left foot into the right thigh. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, reach, and then extend towards your extended leg. So for me, that's my right. So maybe you reach up and over if that feels good, or you just start to reach that direction. One more round of breath. Start to rise back up. Come back to that bound angle, so nice diamond shape in the legs. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, start to fold. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Inhale, rise. Other side. So left leg extends long. Right sole of the foot comes in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, start to hinge towards that extended leg. The background noise is the dog getting water. Yesterday he decided to eat his breakfast in the middle of class. If you heard a lot of clanging, he has never eaten in the morning. He only eats at night. So I think he was just trying to get attention. Inhale, reach back to center. And then take the soles of the feet together one last time. Bound angle, start to hinge forward. So if you are ready for a little bit of play, especially if you have kids watching with you, we're just gonna test out something fun. No big deal if it doesn't work. Take your take your first two fingers and your thumbs and start to pull for the toes, and then maybe you get the legs wide and then allow it to fall back down. So we'll take the knees together and start to drop down towards our back. So grab for the backs of the legs. Allow everything to melt down. Walk the soles of the feet in together, knees wide, just like we did before. Allow the knees to fall out. Rest the hands on the chest and the belly and check in with your breath. Three more rounds of breath here. And then walk the soles of the feet out as wide as the mat. Let the knees fall in. Give the low back a little love. Walk the soles of the feet back in. We'll take bridge pose. We took it yesterday as well. A couple of options. If you have a block or a pillow, you can just find a restorative bridge. Lift the hips up, place the block or the pillow underneath. Or align the fingertips down towards the toes, press into the mat, and start to lift the hips up. We've opened the shoulders, so if you want to walk the shoulders underneath, lift the hips a little more. Fingertips are interlaced. 5 rounds of breath wherever you are. If you're feeling really warmed up and wheel is in your practice, feel free to go there now. Hips are in line with knees. One more round of breath, lift up. Exhale, start to melt it all down. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. We'll take that same hip stretch from yesterday, just so we don't neglect the hips completely. Take the right ankle just above the left knee. Right knee falls out. Stay here if you're already feeling something in the hip. Otherwise, reach around, grab for the back of the left knee. Pull the left knee into the chest. Roll out the feet and the ankles. Then find some stillness. Keeping the legs as they are, take the arms out wide. We'll find this shape into a twist. So if your legs are not like this, just allow the knees to stack. Otherwise, allow this entire shape to drop over to the left. Maybe the gaze goes to the right. Inhale back to center. Uncross the legs, bicycle them out. Like I said, if you're on the couch watching this video, I can see you. I'm just kidding, I can't, but left ankle above the right knee. But the stuff that we're doing on the floor is super accessible, so get on the floor and join us. Option to reach back for the right thigh, pull the knee in. So opening into that left hip, send the breath to that space where you feel the opening in the hip. Where can you allow some relaxation in the face and the shoulders? When you're ready, let the hands come out into a T. Drop the entire shape over to the right. Find your twist, or just stack the knees on top of each other. Drop the knees to the right, gaze can go to the left. Inhale back to center, unwind, bicycle the legs out. Hug the knees into the chest. And release. 2 more times, pull the knees into the chest and squeeze. Maybe pull the forehead to the knees and release. Last time, pull the knees in, squeeze. Release. We'll find happy baby. So yesterday we did half happy baby. We'll start with full happy baby this time. Take the knees nice and wide, the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, reach for the feet, or maybe reach for the backs of the knees, wherever feels comfortable. Allow the shoulders to melt. Gazing up at the ceiling, or allowing the eyes to be heavy or closed. Three more rounds of breath. Slowly release the feet. Again, windshield wiper the feet. Drop the knees side to side. We'll set up for our final resting pose, our Shavasana. So I ask that you stick with us through the Shavasana. It's an important part of the practice. I know it can be frustrating if you have a busy mind to just lay still. But we'll come back together at the end and share a few words and thoughts. So if you find your Shavasana start to allow everything to melt down, allow the arms to fall out wide. Eyes can be heavy or closed. Closing the eyes allows us to turn inward. Releasing any tension in the face or the jaw. Allowing the shoulders to melt. Letting the hands fall open to receive the energy of those practicing next to you or across the world. Allowing the belly to be soft and open. Melting all the way down through the legs and the feet. Allowing the toes to turn out. Take rest. I'll bring you back in a few minutes' time. Beginning to bring some awareness back to the breath. Bringing your awareness back into the physical body. Making small movements with fingers and toes. When you're ready, stretching the arms overhead. You're just getting up in the morning, point the toes. And then pull the knees into the chest and rock side to side until you start to fall over to one side. Finding the fetal posture. Resting here for several rounds of breath. Taking a moment to find gratitude. Gratitude for the amazing things that your body is capable of doing. Gratitude for the time that you took for yourself this morning. Gratitude for all the good things that you have in your life that are especially visible now when we've distilled things down to the simple, to the needs, and let go a lot of the wants. Taking a moment to remind yourself that you are enough, just as you are right now. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. No changes needed. No apologies necessary. Whatever does or does not get accomplished today, you're alive, you're healthy, you're free. Allow that to be enough for just one day. Taking solace in the fact that we're all in this together across the world. We'll see that there is so much good in other people. And there's so much good in ourselves. We can just give ourselves the credit to acknowledge that it's there. When you're ready, slowly roll up to a comfortable seat. Maybe keeping the eyes closed. Next inhale, take the arms wide, and then we'll wrap around, give ourselves a hug. Not worrying about if it feels silly or looks silly, thanking yourself for being here, for being present. Allow the hands to drop down to the knees. Take a cleansing breath together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, sigh it out. Allow the hands to come to the chest. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sigh it out. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, sigh it out. Connect the knuckles of the thumbs to the sternum, symbolizing the connection of our body to our breath, our prana, our life force. Your heart is beating, your body is breathing. You are safe, you are whole, you are protected. It's truly my honor to guide you through your practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.